Hey, what's up everyone, this is Saurav from TechYard, and in today's video I will be giving you my full review of the Motorola X4. Now before I start, let me tell you that this phone is powered by Snapdragon 630. I bought the 4 gigs edition with 64 gigs of onboard storage that cost 23,000 rupees. And we have got a dual camera setup on the back, a 12 megapixel plus 8 megapixel camera setup, a wide angle lens camera setup, and on the front we get a 16 megapixel front shooter with dedicated flash. And we have got a 5.2 inch 1080p full HD display, and this phone is powered by a 3000 mAh battery. So this is all about the device, so let's just hop into my full review. But before that, if you are new to this channel and want to see more videos like this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon as well to get instant notification of those videos. And if you really love the video, don't forget to hit the like button, guys. And without further ado, let's begin. Yeah. So guys, if you are a frequent viewer of my channel, then you know that how I normally do the reviews. But if you don't know, okay, first of all, I will be coming up with the pro side, and then I will be talking about the con side. So guys, coming to the first point, which is the build quality. Now the build quality of this X4 is excellent. On the front we get a Corning Gorilla Glass 3 protection, and even on the back we get the same. And talking about the back panel, now normally in these cases of a glass back panel, mostly the glass back panels are fingerprint magnet, but that's not the case for the X4. The glass back panel is really extremely good looking, and also it doesn't attract a lot of fingerprints. Moreover, this phone is having a IP68 rating, which means this phone is dust and waterproof. I haven't checked it, but as per the rating goes, I think it is really dust and waterproof. Nonetheless guys, the phone is really good in my opinion in case of build quality, and definitely the glass back panel, it is amazing. Now guys, coming to the second point, which is the display. Now talking about the display, we get a 5.2 inch display with on-screen nav buttons that I personally don't like, but you do get the option of using the fingerprint scanner as a one button navigation. But that you can do on a Moto phone, and which is good, I would say. But 5.2 inch is kind of weird kind of a display size. We are normally used to the 5.5 inch. Anyways, talking about the display, I am really in love with the display. The color gamuts are great, but there are two modes actually in the display. You can easily choose the standard mode for natural colors, and you can easily choose the vibrant mode for kind of oversaturated colors. Now the problem doesn't arise on the normal mode. In the normal mode, the colors are really natural, the display is good. But I faced that, I really think that in the vibrant mode, the colors were oversaturated. I understand that, but they were not properly, calibrated. If you are using the phone, you can easily check that. Might be an issue with my device, I don't know. Might be Motorola rolling out an update for that, but I really think in the vibrant mode, the color gamut is not up to that mark. But in the normal mode, it works fine. That's what I can say. But for normal day-to-day usage, you won't face that difference. And over and all, for watching movies, cartoons, cinemas, whatever you like, this display is excellent. Now guys, coming to the third point, which is the Motorola exclusive features, like the gestures, the Moto chop gesture. We all know about, if you just do this and it LED, the flashlight will start glowing. I'm not gonna do that right now. And there are some other features as well. We can easily use the front fingerprint scanner as a navigation button. I have made a dedicated video on it. You can easily check that video in the cards or in the description. I will put the links, don't worry. So yeah, that's a good thing guys. This is actually Motorola exclusive features like the chop and stuff like that. So definitely you only get these things on the Motorola X4. Another thing guys that I personally love is the wireless audio mode. Now I also have made a dedicated video on that. In that mode, you can actually connect up to 4 Bluetooth devices and listen to the same music without any latency. Now I don't have 4 devices, but I have 2, and I did a video on that, so that link will be in the cards or in the description. Make sure to check that as well if you really want to know about the wireless audio mode. Now guys, coming to the fourth point, and that is the front camera and the back camera. Now not both the cameras on the back, I will be talking about that later on, but talking about the cameras on the front and the primary back camera, both of them are really good. We do get a flash on the front, which is really a lifesaver for a lot of selfie centric people, and the 60 megapixel camera does produce great details in good daylight, and in low lights I would say the flash is there for you. But while using the flash, I really have seen that if you are not in the center of the frame, the corners are somewhat I really think they are blackened. I would say in the low light the performance is good, but it is not excellent. and in the broad daylight the performance is really good. I'm talking about the front camera. Now coming to the rear camera is excellent. In the low light it struggles because of having a aperture f2.0 lens, but in daylight it was good. Still Motorola doesn't provide us 4K 30 FPS stabilization or even a 1080p 60 FPS stabilization. Maybe because of the 630 is not as much powerful to stabilize a 1080p 60 FPS video, but we do get 1080p 30 FPS stabilization in the video mode, and that is amazing. I made a dedicated camera review. You can easily watch that. The links will be in the cards or in the description below. You know that. Now guys, coming to the next point, which is the battery. Now I know the battery capacity is not that big. It's only a 3000 mAh battery, but as far as I know, pardon me if I'm wrong, but as far as I can remember, there is no such phone having 4000 mAh battery between the 20 to 25,000 price bracket. Pardon me if I'm wrong. I can't remember all the phones right now. But I think the 3000 mAh battery gave me decent battery backup. Now I don't use WhatsApp, first of all, let me tell you, but I do use Facebook and Messenger all the time. I use Chrome all the time because I'm always trading. So I got around more than 24 hours, which I think is really good, but I was always on the Wi-Fi, and that is one thing I would say. If you are constantly on the 4G network, so there is a bad thing. You might not get 24 hours full, but it will definitely give you a day from morning 8 AM to 9 PM. It will definitely give you a day. But for me, it gave me around 26 to 28 hours more or less in my usage. So I'm quite happy with it. And there are three things that I will have to tell you. One, don't use the Moto display. It really drains the battery. Two, if you're using two SIMs, put one SIM on the 4G mode and the other SIM on the 2G mode, because once you are using one SIM on the 4G mode, then you don't need other SIM to be running on 3G. And 4G plus 2G is definitely drains less amount of battery than 4G and 3G. So definitely do that thing from going to your settings. And the third thing, use your battery saver option. That is a very good thing, guys. Battery saver does work pretty fine. And another thing that is in case of the battery, they do give us, Moto give us the dedicated turbocharger, and that's a good thing. It really charges the phone very fast. From 15 to 60%, it took me around 30 minutes, and the rest took me around another 40 minutes. So I would say that turbocharger works pretty fine. Now guys, I never charge my phone to 100%. I charge it up to 92.3, and then I use it up to up to 25. But for reviewing purposes, I use the battery to 15%, not less than that. So yeah, there you got it. So guys, these were all the pro sides. Now coming to the con side. The first con is the speaker output. Now last point of the pro section was audio quality, and I really said that the headphone jack and the earpiece is good, but the speaker quality is not satisfactory. The speaker is actually the earpiece. The earpiece actually works as a speaker as well. The one thing that is quite disappointing for me is that they had a place for speaker grills, but they didn't implement that. I don't know why. And at 21,000 or 23,000, whatever variant you are buying, expecting a dual stereo speaker is a must, I think so. But I didn't got that, and the speaker quality is not good. It is loud definitely, but it is the clarity or whatever you call it, it is not good. Just not good, I would say. Now guys, coming to the second point, which is the sunlight readability of the display. Now I really said that the display is good for viewing movies, cartoons, etc. But the display is not good if you really are a person who travels a lot and spends a lot of time under the sunlight or something like that. So the sunlight readability is not good. This phone costs more than 20,000 and the sunlight readability is so poor. I have got better sunlight readability displays from phones costing 12 to 15,000. The sunlight readability is really bad. Now guys, coming to the third point, which is the omission of LED light. Now I know LED light is not important for a lot of people, but for me it is definitely. Now let me clear you the reason. Suppose the Motorola display, you all love Motorola display. I also love Motorola display, but Motorola display drains a lot of battery. It really drains a lot of battery. No matter whatever company says, the Moto display does drain a huge chunk amount of battery. You have to accept it, guys. It really does. And LED notification is really good. Now if you get an RGB LED notification light, we can easily customize it. Suppose green for calls, purple for messages. So suppose the phone is lying idle and somewhat a notification arrives and you are not present there, then you come back to your phone and you see that the green light is glowing, so you can easily understand that a call has been a missed call alert is there, so you can easily pick it up. So I think LED notification light is a really important thing. Now this kind of displays like Moto display, glance screens, no matter whatever the company says, they do drain a lot of battery. And as long as we are not getting a 4000 mAh or more than that chunk of battery, I think LED notification light should be a must thing in any phone, Now you tell me what you think about LED notification light. You really need it or not? Do you really agree with my point about an RGB LED light? Please let me know via the comment section below. I'm waiting for you there. Now guys, coming to the fourth point, and which is really a disappointing thing, and that is the uncertainty of an Android update. Still now we don't know whether this phone is gonna get the Android update Oreo or not. Now in Europe, the X4 was launched with the Android 1 program, which means that the people who bought the X4 in the Europe, they will get the definite Android Oreo update, and they will also get the Android P update. But in India and USA, we are not gonna get that. And Lenovo has a very good reputation of not giving us updates, or giving us updates after we are fed up. So I don't think, I'm not sure actually whether we are gonna get the update of Android Oreo or not. Now guys, coming to the secondary camera in the rear, and it is a 8 megapixel camera with wide angle lens, and that is something not good. Now why not good is that in case of wide angle photography or landscape photography, because we mostly use wide angle lens for landscape photography so that we can take a chunk amount of landscape in the frame. And in that cases, I'm a photographer and I normally do photography and I study a lot about photography. So I can easily vouch about one thing is that in case of wide angle photography or landscape photography, you do need a camera with high resolution. It's because if you really want to crop a certain section, you will have more details. And suddenly that thing is lacking right here. Now this one has a 8 megapixel rear secondary camera, which is good by the way in daylight conditions, although it struggles in low light conditions. So I won't tell you to capture images from this secondary camera in the low light conditions. In daylight it was good, but the lower resolution it is really bad because I tried to crop a certain section of my image taken from the secondary camera, and the details were not there, and I was really disappointed. They could have added a 13 megapixel camera with wide angle lens. It could have been better, but they haven't done that. Now the con section is not that much strong, but when you are buying a phone with powered by Snapdragon 630 at 21 or 23,000, these cons are very much important because you are giving us 630, so you have to make other section better so that this phone is worth of that money. But in some sections I don't think it is like that. Now coming to another point guys regarding the camera as well, and that is the portrait mode. Portrait mode nowadays is a gimmick, I would say, or it's the trend. And the Motorola, the G5s Plus I reviewed earlier on, and the same issue is also there. It actually detects your face very fast, and if you are capturing the portrait mode, if you are doing the portrait mode photography with a human being, the results are good. But when there is no human being and only an object, then the results are really bad. It sometimes misses the focus in a very bad manner. I think Motorola should roll out an update on the camera app so that it can detect the objects and then can do stuffs over there. And last but not the least, and this is what I personally think, is that Motorola should change their design. And you can see the front design. This is the front design of the X4, and the same design you will find it on the Motorola G5 Plus, which is around 1 year old. So the front panel design hasn't changed for Motorola. Some people say it is the Motorola's iconic design. I think Motorola needs to evolve. I think Lenovo should make Motorola evolve because Lenovo is currently the parent company of Motorola. I know that. So guys, this is all for today. I hope you love this video. Now I know you're gonna ask me whether you should buy the X4 or not. If you really buy the X4, you are buying this phone for an awesome back panel and a very good front camera, alongside with Moto's trust and IP68 rating. The 630 can handle all the day-to-day tasks that we normally do. But if you really ask me, is the phone overpriced? I'll say yeah, the phone is overpriced. I think the phone's cost should be around 18,000 for 3 gigs edition and 20,000 for 4 gigs edition. We are paying more than 3,000 for nothing extra. I don't think the glass back panel and IP68 rating really justifies the extra 3,000 price tag. I don't know what you think about it. Let me know via the comment section below. I really think the phone is kind of overpriced. I really think so. Anyways guys, this is all for today. If you love this video, you know what to do, and I hope you love this video, so you won't be doing this. I hope so. Anyways guys, do subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon as well to get more videos like this. Until then, bye people, have a great day ahead. Hope to see you in my next one. Bye bye now.